So wait, so you was you was engaged and you got pregnant by your sneaky link?
I'm that hot. I'm just saying he wasn't finna leave me. Like he wasn't finna let me go nowhere. I haven't had a job and I don't know. My husband took care of me. Every man I dated took care of me.
Well, I get it, but that was 11 years ago.
And
like you said you haven't had a job like
I only had to get a job now because I have her. Even with him, I haven't worked even when I had my last
So
apartment.
what did you do with, how did you get money?
He was getting sex the entire time, and then once I'm pregnant, and now you want to go AWOL, that's not.
Now here's the thing, I would accept that from a 20-something, but at your big old age of mid-30s,
But
okay,
I'm still
you can't.
a baby.
Oh Lord! All right, so we gonna talk about it.
This girl in the club, like thicker than I am, so it's like either.
Can we see like the whole shape, like? Yeah, I mean.
I was younger than 13.
So you was like elementary school age?
Yeah, and he said something to me that still sticks with me to this day.
What did he say? Do you want to go on a second date? 1, 2, 3.
Hello. I'm gonna be shy about this question, right?
I'm not sure.
You pack it down there?
Do you want to go on a second date? Yes or no? 1, 2, 3.
No.
Yes, yeah.
No, he's too old.
Do you want to go on a second date? 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
All right, it's a match. Do you want to go on a second date? 1, 2, 3.
Yes. No.
What's up, YouTube? Atlanta Street Interviews out here with another one. So we got a young lady with us today. How you doing today, miss?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So it's been a long time coming this interview. You know, we're actually out here at your new spot that you've had for a little while now. But we met when you were actually at the shelters.
Right.
And so how long has it been since you've been out of the shelter?
I've been here for almost.
Hold on real quick. We got this plane flying over here. So y'all know we somewhere on the south side, somewhere close enough to the airport for real.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
So a little over 3 months, almost over 3 months. Yeah.
Okay, good. So how long were you out there, you know, in the shelters and, you know, homeless?
It was like a whole process for me. So I started with, I can't really say too much about it. It was like court. So I had a no contact order. I couldn't go back home. So that's how I ended up homeless. And I was with, you know, I had a child already. Was
that like a domestic violence situation?
No, it was a different type of situation.
Okay, so we're going to get into it, but we'll go ahead. Give me the overview.
And I think that was from like, I've been going through this for like 5-6 years. I just want to say, I think probably
5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
So 5 6 years ago is when it started.
Yeah.
What was it that happened 5 years ago that started this whole thing?
I had a no contact order, so I couldn't stay in the household with my family. It was like a restraining order, almost kind of like family violence, but not really.
Was that against you, or was that one that you filed? Okay, so that was so I guess
couldn't go home without a police escort. So then I had court. Then they put me in a shelter. And then from that point on, like I've been sheltered my whole life by my family, and I've just thrown out the fence.
How old are you?
I'm 37.
37?
Yes, I'm 37.
Oh, you look great.
Thank you.
Okay, so all right, so we're gonna unravel all this, but real quick, so these two kids behind me, are these your only 2 kids?
Yeah, and then I went through it while I was pregnant with her. So I was on the bus in the cold, in the rain, pregnant with luggage and my child from hotel to motel.
What was the dad?
He was not present. You know, when we get pregnant, some of these baby fathers just.
Well, now I always challenge the women. Always challenge the women, because here's the thing: you guys control access to sex, so you can't. He can't get it unless you give it to him.
I mean, but when I'm pregnant, if he was getting sex the entire time, and then once I'm pregnant, and now you want to go AWOL, that's not.
Now here's the thing, I would accept that from a 20-something, but at your big old age of mid-30s, okay, you can't.
Baby.
Oh Lord! All right, so we're gonna talk about it. Okay, so we're gonna talk about it. Okay, have you ever been married?
I'm separated. Yes.
Oh, so you're currently legally married?
Yes, legally.
Okay. The house that you had to leave, did your husband live there as well?
No.
Okay.
I left him in New York.
You left in New York?
I got married in New York.
Okay. How long has it been since you left the marriage?
2013.
11 years?
2013.
Okay. So you was 26 when you guys split. How old were you when you got married?
We got married in 2013. I left him in 2013 because when we got married, he changed.
How many months?
Not even a month, I don't think.
Not even a month?
No, we was engaged longer than we were married.
So
And so when I came back to Atlanta, I had to start all over, and I didn't reach out to my friends, my family, because when you get married, it's like, it's like a funeral. Like, it hurt real bad. So it's like,
okay, so we're gonna talk about all this. All right, we're gonna talk about all this. You got a few things going on that we gotta kind of tap into. Okay,
yeah.
okay. So, all right, first and foremost, let's figure out this whole situation about being homeless in 5 or 6 years and all this stuff. Okay, so you had a no contact order. Who was it that put the no contact order on you?
Well, I just don't want to talk about that. All I want to say is it was a very humbling experience being homeless, and I didn't have to go through this. I didn't make these decisions for myself, but sometimes it's like easy to get in trouble and it's very difficult to get out of trouble.
So real quick, how old are your kids?
My son is 7 and my daughter is 1.
Okay.
And it's not easy going through this, being a single mother with kids, and I consider myself a baby with babies, trying to pay rent, bills, and doing it all on my own without a baby father, without a husband, without the help of family, and trying to work and just getting kind of government assistance. It's not easy.
Well, yeah, I mean, but so that's why I want to talk about it, though. So, like, remember at the beginning I said, hey, is there anything want to talk about or anything? Don't start the interview, because my questions go wherever the conversation takes us.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason why I'm asking about it is because that's the actual literal reason why you became homeless, was because whatever happened.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to figure out, how do these things happen to normal people, right? Normal looking people.
So legally, I can't talk about it, but like I can give you a little bit about it. It's
just give us whatever you can legally. We want to understand what happened.
Allegedly, I got into a physical altercation with someone in the home, and it was like chronic police calls and
so this was happening frequently enough.
Ongoing, yeah.
Was this a parent, or was this a sibling or a cousin?
Yeah, both. So
you was getting into it with a few people
in the house. It was like cats and dogs.
Okay,
fighting.
but why?
It's like cats and dogs fighting. So it's like.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna put a pin in that right there.
Okay.
All right. So and real quick, as far as this marriage goes, again, I get that you're saying that, oh, he changed after marriage. Well, what specifically was it? What was it that made you say, oh, I gotta leave this marriage?
Oh yeah, because the entire time we were dating, he was so nice to me. He did everything for me. Like, he would bend over back for me. He would give me his last. When we got married, I guess he felt like he had me. He started getting angry. He started talking crazy. He's wanting to get violent. And I was like, I left everything I love, literally, in Atlanta. My cars, my clothes, my shoes, my family, my friends, to move to New York to be with a man that I barely knew, to try to get to know him.
Why?
And I thought it was love. And then you want to try to, I assumed that he was cheating on me because I don't have any family or friends there. I don't know anyone but him. So I gave up everything for him. And then he switched up on me. It's like, no. And so I just had to leave, because I'm not going to let anyone mistreat me. And then I left everything to be with you.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. Why? Okay, before we do it, all right, we're going to put another pin in that. Let's just start from the beginning. Where are you from?
I'm from Atlanta.
Hey, man, shout it out, man. Look at this Georgia peach here, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, man, shout out the city, man, all day. So growing up here in Atlanta, did you have both mom and dad in the household?
No.
Who'd you grow up with?
Family. I was kind of like a nomad. I just moved from family member to family. My auntie to auntie, the grandma to great grandma, and then mom.
Why didn't mom and dad, why didn't they raise you?
They can't make me do something I don't want to do.
So they were kind of like still living their life, kind of, doing whatever they wanted to do type deal? Or like, what was the explanation that you got?
This is Atlanta. That's all I can say. When they go down, they go down. And it was a lot going down. So at that point, it's just like, as a child, adult, a young adult.
Well, I get it, but I don't want to assume. Oh, okay.
I had to make a decision to leave that space or stay in that space. If it's somewhere where it's...
well, you was a kid, so it wasn't your decision per se.
It was. Because sometimes kids have to save themselves, too.
Well, right. So, okay. So, I guess what I'm hearing is that your mom and dad was kind of in the streets just doing their thing?
If that's what you want to say.
Well, no, you tell me.
No, it wasn't that. It was just I didn't like her boyfriend, and so I just left.
Did something happen with you and the boyfriend?
He said something to me that, like, didn't
How old were you?
I was like, I don't even know. I was super young, though. I was younger than 13.
So you was like elementary school age?
Yeah, and he said something to me that still sticks with me to this day.
What did he say?
The tone that he used and whatever he said. Basically, he said that he'll whoop me, but not how he whoop on other people, is what he said. So I don't know who those other persons are. That's not my story to tell, so that's why.
I mean, did you take it as some type of sexual way or something like that?
I just took it like very, I'm offended. I took it as a threat. That's what I took it as. So when someone.
And so what age did
as
you,
a child,
what age did you decide to go stay with other folks?
I was about 12, 13.
Okay, so up to that point, you lived with your mom.
No, I lived with my grandma. I lived with my mom briefly, but mostly grandma and great grandma and aunties and other family members.
Okay. All right, and so that was here in Atlanta. And so growing up, would you say that you had like a fairly normal childhood?
I did. I had a very loving, caring family. I was real close to my family, and I just made a decision after I got married to separate myself because.
Well, hold on. You skipping to when you was 26. All right, we still talking about your childhood.
So yeah, I had a very loving, caring family.
Okay, you ended up like going to high school, stuff like that.
Yeah, I graduated from high school.
What school, by the way?
I went to Cram.
Hey
I
man,
went to
hold on, Cram.
Yeah.
So wait, so we're close to the same age. So Cram back then meant that you had whatever trouble you had at whatever your regular school, and so you had to go to Cram either to catch up or whatever.
Oh, how you know that? Okay,
come on from the east side. Don't play with me like that.
I went to McNair Junior High, and I kept getting in trouble.
Okay.
And so they transferred me to Cram, so I didn't know anyone there, so I wasn't getting any more trouble.
Okay.
Then I started skipping school.
Of course, like they always do at
Cram.
Cram.
I dropped out, and then I went back a year later, so I had to go to day school, night school, summer school, and open campus before I could graduate, but I still graduated. And then I went to Georgia Perimeter College, and then I dropped out because I got pregnant, and then I just had an abortion, and then I didn't go back. So, and then I was just partying every day, like from Monday to Sunday.
What type of party are we talking about? We talking about like out like downtown, stuff like that?
Visions, 112, like.
So going out to the clubs and stuff.
Partying. I had a fake
So you was the pretty light-skinned girl that was young, out there, Atlanta. Yeah. This is Atlanta. Yeah. This is what all the guys came here for. Yeah. Is for
the hottest in the city. So everybody come check in with the queen.
So wait, did you dance and do that type of stuff?
I waitress. I didn't dance.
Okay, so you worked it like
my son. I think a couple of years ago I started dancing when COVID first started, and then they didn't ask me to have a permit, so they let me dance without a permit. So yeah.
Okay.
Briefly.
Yeah, I mean, you was like 30-something at that point. That's what I was asking. Did you dance when you was like in your 20s? Like
no,
that time?
No,
okay.
I was a waitress.
Okay, so so now I'm gonna start to ask some more uncomfortable questions, okay? Okay, so because why do you think in those kind of middle school years and that type of stuff, why do you think you was acting up? Why do you think you was acting out?
Because of the household and my environment, and it was even in the environment, so I don't want to tell anyone else's business because it's not my story once again, but it was a lot of violence in the environment. Like I seen dudes that I didn't know beat up women that I didn't know in the streets with their kids. And
where did you live?
I live in Monty. I live Boulevard. I live Centennial Place. I live Oakland City.
Okay, so all around the city, basically. All around the city.
East side, everywhere.
Man, shout out that EA, man.
Yeah.
Shout out that EA, man. Middle finger with the 5-6. You hear me? All day. Yes, sir. All right, man. Okay. So you was just kind of slightly bad, kind of doing your thing or whatever. You ended up at Cram. What made you, in your 20s, decide to, so wait, the guy that you married, was he from New York?
Yeah, he's Jamaican, but he
I knew he was, I knew it, like I knew it before you said it. Like, okay, so you got this Jamaican New Yorker, right? Mm-hmm. That came down here, probably hadn't been, how long had he been down here?
He wasn't down, he just was visiting.
Met you.
He was driving trucks, and then he came here, and then he met me, and then
y'all like kind of had this chemistry, sparks, whatever.
Just started coming
how long until he met you and until you moved up to New York?
I think a year and a half, 2 years. We got engaged, and then I think.
So it was a long distance relationship?
Yeah. And then after that,
I'm gonna ask you a question.
We got an apartment together here in Atlanta.
I'm gonna ask you a question real quick, and I want you to answer it truthfully. Okay, y'all was in a long distance relationship. Okay. Did you have like a little sneaky link while you was,
I was still dating the dude, yeah, and he knew that because I got pregnant by the dude, so I got caught up and I told him.
Wait, what? So wait, so you was engaged and you got pregnant by your sneaky link?
I'm that hot. I'm just saying, he wasn't finna leave me. Like, he wasn't finna let me go nowhere. So,
So
yeah, I was still dating my boyfriend before I met him.
let me ask you about that, right?
Mhm.
Because how was you so into him?
Preston, get Penelope. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. How was you so into him, but then still getting clapped up by your ex?
Because I was still in love with my ex too. So and I was
So why
young.
why be
He
engaged?
still had to allow me to get that out of my system before we even got married. So
You know, people say young, right? But back in the day, you know, a 25, 26-year-old woman, 24-year-old woman would have like maybe a kid or two.
Preston, I'm sorry.
No, it's
Get
okay.
get over there and get your sister. Sorry.
You gotta make sure you're watching her, right?
Stand right there with her. Sorry, mommy do this.
No, that's right. 100%. 100%. You better do that. All right. But yeah, like, so like, how were you dating your ex? Did your ex know that you had a fiance out of town and stuff?
We used to talk about it. Yeah, you knew.
So everybody knew and everybody was cool with it.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
It's Atlanta. What you think?
I guess, man, like, I'm the type of guy, I don't like to share.
I don't like to share either, but
Okay.
it was slim pickings. And then we were young, so you got to give me a chance to even like,
Experience and stuff.
yeah, and figure
I
out
guess.
if it's
You
what I
said
really
you was
want.
already, you said you was already out there.
I
You
know,
said
but
you was
not
already
like that.
partying.
I was, but I still wasn't like, I'll get it later. I wasn't like
out there like that.
promiscuous, yeah, and
Okay.
like that's it, nah.
Okay.
I'm stingy
All right.
with my cootie cat, no.
You say what?
Jocelyn Hernandez, I'm stingy with my cootie cat.
He stingy with the cootie cat.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna ask real quick, because I always ask this question. You know, when you were younger, did anything like ever happen to you, like anything like that?
Molestation?
Mm-hmm.
No, someone tried to, but it didn't go. He tried, and I was just like, I'm the type of kid, I'm gonna tell my mom, like, I'm telling on you.
So wait, so how old were you when that happened?
I was in first grade.
First grade? What happened?
And then my mama went around, because it was my cousin boyfriend. I spent the night at her house, and I was on the floor sleeping. He came in, and he tried to stick a big long in my booty hole, and I was like, no.
What?
And then I told my mama that. She went around there confronting him, and then I said, we ain't see the man no more.
How old was he at the time?
He was grown. I don't know how.
He was a grown man?
Grown. He was my cousin boyfriend. They was babysitting us for my mom, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. And so you told your mom and they handled that?
Yep.
Huh. Wow. Okay. Okay. So, all right. So let's go back. So, all right. So this whole situation with the husband in New York, how come you guys haven't gotten legally divorced?
Because I told him that I want to get divorced, and he claimed that he doesn't have any money to get divorced, and I just feel like he still want to have a hold on me, and he's not ready to let me go yet. But I had to pray about it spiritually, because I'm a God-fearing individual, so I still feel like bad, like I was cheating on him even though we're separated. Spiritually, it just doesn't feel,
So why don't you just, like, how much does divorce cost? Like,
I'm not sure.
it can't cost too much to file for a divorce.
Probably like $200 or less than $300.
So why don't you just, like, save up the money and...
I'm facing home, like, if I don't pay my rent.
I guess you got priorities, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so let's talk about that. So, because I look at you and you just look like, normal, pretty girl out here, right? Doing your thing. But you say you was homeless for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, because, and then, like, once you get pushed kind of out the nest, it's like you don't even want to go back home, because at this point, it's like you're used to doing things for yourself.
Yeah, you're grown.
I stayed at Econo Lodge. I stayed in Motel 6. I stayed from motel, from house to house. Like,
Did your
friends.
family know that you was homeless during that time?
Yeah, but it's like I don't want to be a burden on them. And then it's like they're older, so I don't want to stress people out, give people heart attacks.
Well, I get that, but what do they think about the kids being in the situation with you?
Though, like, I only had my son, and I'm raising a man, and so it's like he's supposed to be tough, but now that I have a daughter, that complicates things further. So now it's like it's pressure. I have to, like, get a regular job. I haven't had a job, and I don't know. My husband took care of me. Every man I dated took care of me.
Well, I get it, but that was 11 years ago.
And
like, you say you haven't had a job, like
I only had to get a job now because I have her. Even with him, I haven't worked. Even when I had my last
So
apartment.
what did you do with? How did you get money?
I make money. I was dancing for a little while, and then you have the.
Well, that's a job. That's a
You
job.
have fans on your Instagram and Facebook.
So do you do like OnlyFans and stuff like that, or
that type of
Snapchat
stuff.
Premium?
Yeah, that type of stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so you do like
And
the
people,
sex
like,
work
send
type
money,
stuff.
yeah.
I get it. Okay. So you utilizing that, and I mean, how is that? Is that going well for you? Like, or
It
is
was at that point, but now I have 2 kids and I gained weight and I'm tired. I'm super grown.
you say you gain weight?
Yeah.
So hold on, because I mean,
I was smaller than this, and then
I think you still have a nice shape. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Thank you. But it's like I gained weight and I'm tired now because
You tired?
I got 2 kids.
So wait.
I'm
Well, I get that that'll maybe prevent you from dancing or whatever, but what about like the Snapchat Premium, the OnlyFans?
I'm
all that
tired.
type?
I have a 7-year-old and a 1-year-old. I'm tired.
So you tired like mentally, as far as like emotionally?
Too. I'm not tired mentally. It's just
So
like,
just physically?
Physically, I don't want to get out and do nothing. I wish I could just work from home. It'll be easier. And then I have to commute because since we was homeless, we live all the way in East Point. Now we got to commute all the way downtown. I got to get up at 4:44 in the morning just to make sure he make it to school on time. And we be there by 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Sure, I know about that.
I'm tired.
Okay. Because some people are gonna ask, right? They're gonna be saying, well, I get that, but I mean, if that is your form of income, if that is a way that you get a little bit of money, what does tired have to do with it? Like, what do you mean? You gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Okay, but you have to understand that I don't consider myself as I just gotta refer to like my culture, like Cardi B when she say ain't no regular schmegler. So I ain't regular schmegler, but you want me to do regular stuff. So it's like, it's not computing to me. Like my mind and my body want to do something different, but people asking me to do regular things, like get a regular job. Like right now, it's difficult for me to get a job at Chick-fil-A. I ain't got to do nothing but pack up sandwiches. Like they keep,
What do you mean it's difficult for you to get a job at Chick-fil-A?
I done filled out over 20 applications, and then I filled out for 3 Chick-fil-A's, and they were like, oh, we're gonna go in another direction, and what it was, some other store, like we're going in another direction because the only line of work I've been in was waitressing and dancing and a little bit receptionist and cleaning planes when I was in high school.
So why you don't go wait tables? There's plenty of restaurants,
I have kids and I have to get on MARTA, then my commute, and I have to be off by a certain time. So
I get it. Basically, you know, because does the elementary school kid, does he have after school or?
Yeah, but I still got to be there by 6 and I'm on MARTA, so that mean if I work from the time I drop them off, I would still have to be out of work by 4. And they want me to work till 5, and that's pushing it because I gotta be there by 6. So ain't no guarantee.
I'll say this, right? I'll say this. I live downtown, and I'm a foodie. Okay, I frequent a lot of restaurants. I know for a fact that there's a lot of 11 to 2, 11 to 3 lunch shifts out there.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna encourage you to just find one of those spots because, I mean, you know, 3-4 hour shift real quick. You make your quick $100, and you know it kind of keeps you in a place to where you got a little cash in your pocket, you know.
That's it. It's a little cash. I need a lot of cash. My rent is $12.37 over here.
Wait, is that?
Yeah, I have.
I thought you got this through the program or whatever.
But then when the program is done helping you, you have to pay your own full.
Okay,
rent.
so for right now, you're not paying $12.37 though.
No.
Okay.
But after this month, I have to pay $12.37. Is what I'm saying. Plus the bills. Like the electricity bill, my phone bill, my Wi-Fi.
So they don't pay that stuff for a whole year?
No. I mean, if you get good sponsorship, maybe they would. If I had a good sponsor, I wouldn't be complaining. I'm not complaining now.
Wait, how does this work? So, because I know some people, they have that dog is kind of right. So how does this work? Because I know some people that have like they get the subsidized rent for a year. So they're paying like $300-400 a month right now.
Oh yeah, I don't get that. Every program is different. So every program is different and every sponsorship is different. The first program I was in, they helped me for 6 months and then they helped me a little after that. But they made me pay at least $200 so I could get used to paying some rent.
Right.
And then they went up on the rent until it was time for me to pay the full rent. So that was $745. But then I got tired. Then I got evicted because I wasn't working at all. But I stayed over there for 2.5 years. So the whole webcam stuff is like, it get boring and get tiring, but I did it for 2.5 years and you know I made my money. But now I'm here and I have 2 kids. It's like I'm tired. It's exhausting. So these things are not easy for me because I'm introvert, so I'm not social. So it's difficult for me to even talk to people even doing this. So that's why I took
Yeah, it took us like it took me to see you at least 7 or 8 times and being like, hey, you ready? You know?
Yeah, and I wasn't ready. So I was like, it's gonna take some time. I had to warm up to the idea.
Okay, but so let's try to figure this out, right? Because you're 37 years old,
yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So some people are gonna say, hey, she's a full-grown woman, all right? And I get that you say that you I guess felt like you was a little sheltered when you was younger or whatever.
Yeah, so I'm still there. I'm still like the baby in the family. So that's just what it is. So to society, they might look at me as a no. But in society, some people look at me like, she's a child, she's a child, she's a kid. But it's like, if you can see that, then you know that kids don't like to pay bills. So why I got to pay $12.37?
Well, because you also, because you're grown. You've been doing grown things. You got kids, so we got the evidence, okay? We got the evidence. You've been doing grown-up things, okay? So you can't want to be a kid and want to be a grown-up.
I'm a kidult.
A kidult, is that what you said?
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing.
I've never heard that, but I like that. You know what? I feel like that sometimes. I'm a kidult. Okay, but no, seriously though, like, okay. Like, all right, I'm sure that there's gonna be a lot of guys gonna probably cash up you $1 and say, call me, and that type of stuff, right?
In my DMs, but I don't, because they want more than
they want sex.
Yeah,
they want sex.
Right.
Right. So well, and so my question is, like, what is your plan? Because $12.37 in this economy with the inflation, with everything's higher and everything else, $12.37, especially like $12.37 would be hard if you had a job for the last 3 months. It would still be hard.
Oh, right. Don't let her fall.
Okay. It's been, so what is your plan? Like, what are you gonna do? Like,
That's what I said. So I go see a job specialist, and she helped me with employment. She sent me like emails for job links. So I've been going to job fairs. I've been going on interviews, but it's like people been calling me back. So I get a lot of people calling back. I had a few interviews, but it's like I just can't do the hours, and I can't work weekends. So most people want me to work weekends because the line of work I'm like
doing that's when people are gonna be
make
there.
the most money,
Yep.
right? So it's like,
so I mean,
I have to get a babysitter and go back to the club and like try to dance at night because this girl in the club like thicker than I am. So it's like either
can we see like the whole shape, like? Yeah, I mean, you definitely still got your hourglass figure. It's just a little thicker, right? So,
okay.
but okay, no, but seriously though, like, is there no way that your family can step in and help, at least with the kids?
Yeah, but I don't want that though.
What do you mean you don't want
Because
it?
like you said,
you may be facing eviction.
I'm 37 though, but it's like people have family have their own problems, and I'm trying to break my traditional curses.
So,
that's what I'm trying to do.
So you don't necessarily want them in that environment? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's like, I'm not talking bad about my family at all, but it's some pieces and parts in the family like I don't want to be involved in anymore because I'm grown and I can see that from my childhood, and now it's like if I could change this about the family.
Right, you got 2020, right?
Yeah, so it's like that's all I'm doing. I don't want that for my kids.
I get it, but man, like when you are up against a rock and a hard place, right? You're literally, you said that next month you're gonna have to pay the full amount.
Right.
So, and if you don't pay the full amount, what happens?
They're probably gonna file for eviction, and then they're gonna give me a couple of months, and then the first time I went through it, I gotta wait till the courts contact me, and I don't know how it's gonna go because I already went through one eviction. So it's like I'm trying to prevent it, and I'm trying to reach out to programs because they have places to help you prevent eviction. And I have small kids, and it's not like I'm not looking for employment. It's like.
So here's what I'm gonna tell you, right? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna break this down for you the raw way, okay? See, the type of woman that you are, you just should be someone's housewife. Like you don't
Wife, right?
Okay, but you made bad decisions in that regard. It's like you had kids with guys that, like, because these guys aren't even stepping up and being helpful, it sounds like.
Okay, but when I got pregnant, in my mind, I'm just like, get a job now, save some money, take care of my own kids. I'm not dependent. I'm like, I'm used to making my own money. I came from making money. I came from a money-making environment.
Making money in those ways, though, is like, it doesn't last forever.
I know, but it's still like, it was fast money. And
that's the problem. It comes fast, and so you don't appreciate it enough, and you know, you get to a point to where you think that you're entitled to making that type of income, and it's like, nah, that's difficult. Like,
right, so it's difficult for me to work a 9 to 5, but that's where I came from. It's like, just throw me back where you got me from then. So I don't have to go through this. I've never been through this in my life. I've never been around this class of people. No offense.
You say this class of people?
It's a class of people that I dislike. I've never felt like this about anything or anyone in my life. So all this is new to me. So,
well, you say you grew up in EA. You say you grew up in Boulevard and all that type of stuff.
Well, we always getting money. it wasn't no beef, it wasn't no smoke. It wasn't this much violence. It was a little bit domestic violence, but it wasn't this much violence with kids and dudes fighting and shooting every day and at the train station and.
I get it. Atlanta is definitely becoming Grand Theft Auto.
It's
so
everywhere though.
Yeah.
Yeah, pass it. Yeah, pass it. Here I come, mommy.
Okay, so all right. Okay. So what is again the plan? So like I guess you're gonna reach out to those agencies to see if they can help and things like that.
Yeah.
If some knight in shining armor came through and would say, hey, bring the kids, or I'm in Atlanta, bring the kids, y'all come live, we're gonna get to know each other, da 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 da. What would be your response to that?
I have trust issues. They was already trying to do that. All my Facebook friends, people I went to school with, it's like, you don't have to go through this, you don't have to go through this with your kid or your kids, you come stay with me. It's like, I appreciate you just like family. It's like, I have family and friends here, but I just don't want to be a burden on anyone. And then people have rules and it's like, and that's why they have these government like places for like shelters, transitional housing. Like they should get off their butt and do more and help people that's facing like homelessness.
Well, I get that, but some people are gonna say, well, you got to do your part too.
I'm doing my part. Me looking for a job every day, my feet hurt, my back hurt, I'm tired. I feel like I've been working already and I ain't even got a job yet.
Well, and I will say, when I walked up, you had the baby in your hand, you had the stroller in the hand, you got a little fella walking around, you got this and that. I will say that, but that still doesn't mean that you're actually, you still have to, be productive,
I am. I make every effort to be productive every day.
I get it, but making an effort is different than, you see what I'm saying?
And
like
proactive. I'm out actively, like I said, I'm a God-fearing person. So like faith without works is dead. I fill out the application, I go to places, I inquire. They give me the QR code to scan. I gotta fill out the application online. So most places want you to fill it out online these days. So no matter if you go in person and they see you and meet you and y'all have a face-to-face and they like you and look you up and down and like you look like you can get the job, it's still gonna be somebody in there somewhere that's like, nah, it's gonna be a problem. It's just biased. So
I mean, what, pretty girl bias? Like biased. Some people are gonna say, okay, like I can see if you had something to be biased against.
It's
but
a real thing. Like they're literally biased. So it's like that's frustrating, and then I'm getting offended. And someone like myself shouldn't be offended. It's like I'm being humble, and I'm trying to do the right thing because I have kids. But it's like I see why like dudes be out here wilding to just kind of make you want to go strong on something. Like I gotta get it. Like it did come between me being on the streets and with my kids and having this place and having some money to afford. It's like I gotta do what I gotta do. So
I get it. I mean, and that's where I go back to the, well, hey, why not pop up the cam and what I'm saying, do that, for however many hours you gotta do it for, and then call it a day type deal. But if I get that, if you kind of want to move away from that, then you want to move away from that. So I get that too.
And I'm also like introvert, so it's like and I'm leveling up in life because I'm breaking my traditional curses, so it's getting like uncomfortable. Before it was like
it was nothing, like you could do it, it wasn't no big deal.
It's like, yeah, it's fun, it's new now.
But now it's starting to bother your spirit.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, I can't.
I get that. All right, well, listen, miss, on that note, if anybody out there wanted to reach out, help, or donate, do you have a way they could do that? Do you have social media, Cash App, anything like that?
No, I just have, what is it, Facebook, and it's just my name.
What's your name?
Brittany Shannon.
Okay.
And I have Instagram, I think is Snow White _ Safari ATL.
Snow White _ Safari ATL.
Yeah.
Am I gonna be able to see some of these pictures where you were thinner and all like that? Am I gonna be able to see that stuff on there?
That's my stripper page. So.
What page is that?
The Safari.
Oh, so I'm gonna be able to see all that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And so, what about Cash App?
I have a few, so I can't think.
Well, give us the one that you want us to,
I'm trying to think of it. It might be Snow White too. I can't think it right. It's just my name, Brittany Shannon. So
put in Brittany Shannon.
Green. Yeah, Brittany Green on it.
Brittany Green with the E on the end or no E?
I can't recall. I think it might have.
Your last name?
It's not my last name. I just had to make up another because I keep getting it. Like every time I get a new phone, I just change my email and my Cash App.
Oh, you gotta stop doing that.
Right. So.
Cash App will shut you down.
Yeah, they did. They still owe me like $200. Like somebody tried to send me like over $1,000, and then they like tried to block it, and then they blocked my card, so I had to get a new card. So that's what I'm saying. So people be trying to look out for me. They Western Union me. They send me money on Cash App. They see my struggle. They know it's real. They care about me. They're concerned about me. Like I'm not a nobody lost like crazy, deranged individuals. Like, I'm trying to do the right thing, but it's like I'm trying to find my way as well. So I am an adult with kids, so it's like I've been sheltered my whole life. So it's like I have to find a way to fend for me and these kids. So that's pretty much what it is.
Okay.
And it's not easy, so yeah.
Yeah, man. Life is tough. Life be lifing, man.
Lifing.
All right. So, all right. Well, so we're gonna look up that Cash App. Like I say, we really appreciate you. Definitely wishing nothing but the best out here. All right.
Thank you.
Make sure you have a good one, sweetie. All right.